of the Bulldogs Sports Network.
You can wrap it in maroon and white.
Live from News Park in Starkville, this is Mississippi State Softball. Mississippi State Softball is sponsored by C-Spire, customer inspired. First pitch is just moments away. Now let's go live to the broadcast booth for Mississippi State Softball.
Welcome into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network, live here at News Park. I'm Ty Goble alongside you with the BSSN, and welcome into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network again. Our first time on Learfield on HailState.com and the HailState app. Welcome in, and thank you for joining us on this fine afternoon in Starkville, Mississippi at News Park. Mississippi State, number 12 in the country, getting set to face the number 1 Lady Volunteers of Tennessee. Bulldogs coming in at 25-2 on the season, or rather 26-2, number 12 in the country, and a RPI at number 9. That's the highest RPI rank ever in Mississippi State program history. Bulldogs have had a great start to the season. So has Tennessee. Absolutely perfect have been the Lady Volunteers, 25-0 and 3-0 in Southeastern Conference play, coming off of a sweep of LSU this past weekend in Knoxville. The Volunteers number 1 in all polls and number 1 in the RPI as well. A consensus number 1 team here in the Tennessee Volunteers. They come into Starkville to face your number 12 Mississippi State Bulldogs. Tennessee leads the all-time series 49 games to 23, and they lead in Starkville 21 games to 10. Last year, Tennessee took 2 out of 3 in Knoxville. Every ball game was a run rule. Tennessee won the first one 8-0. Bulldogs took game 2 12-4, and then the Lady Volunteers took game 3 8-0 to take 2 out of 3 and win the series over Mississippi State. We start off with our visiting Tennessee Lady Volunteers head coach Karen Weekly, a known legend in NCAA Division I softball. Before Tennessee, it was a long time ago, was at UT Chattanooga, and now at Tennessee, has been there for a while. Her 25th year this year on Rocky Top, and a 1,157, 357-2 career record. Tennessee has hosted 20 straight regionals, have been to a couple super regionals in a row, and Volunteers 9 College World Series under head coach Weekly, and a trip there last year after going 47-17. They have got an incredible pitching staff, do the Tennessee Lady Volunteers, that will go toe-to-toe with Mississippi State's incredible pitching staff today. The Lady Vols top 10 in the nation in ERA, hits allowed, shutouts, K to walk ratio, strikeouts per 7 innings, and walks and hits divided by innings pitched. So that would be WHIP in short. They're top 10 in all of those in the nation. It's a staff led by the dominant Carlin Pickens, Aaron Newer, and the girl getting the start tonight in Sage Margetko. Just a really, really good staff, and they're going to, like I said, go toe-to-toe with State tonight. They have been dominant all season. Margetko had a great start against LSU in Game 1 last week and shut out the Fighting Tigers. In that ball game, LSU was able to tack on 6 runs or 6 and 5 in Games 2 and 3 to make it 11 for the series, but none against Margetko in Game 1. It was a dominant performance for her in that ball game, and it's just a Tennessee staff, like I said, that has been dominant all year. And you talk about the pitching staff, well, they've got solid hitting as well. It's, why they're the number 1 team in the country. Volunteers coming off of a team average of 373 batting average against LSU last weekend. They scored 24 total runs in their 3-game sweep of LSU in Knoxville there. And they have been led by Sophia Knight, who's going to be in the leadoff spot tonight, a 519 average. One of the best averages in the entire country. Looking at that, looking at her average, that average third, good enough for third in the SEC this season. She's got 42 hits. That's 6th in the nation and 2nd in the SEC. Also a 579 on-base percentage, so getting on base. Tennessee has their top 6 in the order, all with averages above 300. And you look at Gabby Leach as well in that 3 spot, a 420 average. Ella Dodge in the 2 spot, 359. Mackenzie Budd in the cleanup spot tonight, going to be in the 386 or 386 average. So Tennessee able to hit the ball, not just pitch. And, it's a great combo. It's why they're number one. It's a great combo when you've got that elite pitching and hitting that can come along with it. Now you look at Mississippi State. Your Bulldogs coming into SEC play off the heels of their best start before conference play in program history, going 26-2. Bulldogs swept Southeast Missouri here on Tuesday, a run rule victory in game one, and then a victory 4-0 was the score in game two. 4-0 in game two. So Bulldogs a sweep of the Red Hawks here at News Park on Tuesday, and you look at them this year, and it's been the same thing as Mississippi State. Like I said, these two staffs going to go toe-to-toe this year. State brings in a pitching staff that aligns with Tennessee in terms of its prowess, like I've been saying. Like I said earlier, Vols, top 10 in the nation in ERA, hits allowed, shutouts, K-to-walk ratio, Ks per 7, and whip, and Mississippi State right there with them in a top 10 in the nation in all those statistical categories as well. Bulldogs have just been absolutely fantastic pitching this year. You've seen it from Layla Amon. You've seen it from Alyssa Faircloth. You've seen it from Paige Gould. We'll see it tonight from Alyssa Faircloth, hopefully, who is one of the best in the nation and the best in the nation in striking batters out with 112 this year. She's going to get the start from Mississippi State tonight. State has also been able to elevate the offense under Coach Ricketts. Dogs set a program record last year for home runs in a season, and they've been back at that, doing that again. But State, though, this year has been able to find clutch hits and comeback scenarios. Bulldogs have won 5 games this year and come from behind scenarios. State's going to have to be clutch tonight and all throughout this series, especially when we get runners on, which could be pretty rare against a fantastic pitching staff for the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. So we're just about set for first pitch here at News Park, almost ready for the anthem. Thank you again for tuning in with us on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in our first broadcast with Learfield. We appreciate everybody involved with that. And I appreciate, like I said, just tuning in tonight. Appreciate you listening into the pregame show. You can follow us on our social media accounts with the Bulldog Student Sports Network on X at BSSN_MSU and on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network, and then subscribe to us on our YouTube channel as well. But I appreciate y'all tuning in and listening to the pregame show. We'll be back in just a moment with the starting lineups here at News Park, as we're going to take a break and be back in just a moment. National anthem just about to be played here at News Park in Starkville, Mississippi. Number 12, Mississippi State, and number 1, Tennessee, coming up soon here at News Park. I'm Ty Goldman with the Bulldog Student Sports Network, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C-Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C-Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C-Spire, customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Jake Mangum here. When I'm at the plate, I'm always looking for an edge. So when I'm shopping for auto insurance, I'm always looking to save. That's why I'm going with Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance to keep me covered. They're always finding ways to save you money, like a 7% discount when you sign up for paperless billing and documents. Go to msfbins.com and discover how much you can save on auto insurance, or find a local agent and get started today. Go with the home team. Go with Farm Bureau Insurance.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network live here at News Park. SEC opening weekend. It's your number 12 Bulldogs of Mississippi State about set to do battle with the number 1 Lady Volunteers of Tennessee. Good evening to you and welcome into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you. Excited for our contest today. A beautiful day in North Mississippi here on the campus of Mississippi State University. So we're just about set for first pitch here. We'll give the starting lineups in the ball game. First off, for the visiting Volunteers of Tennessee. Lady Volunteers coming in at 25-0, number 1 all across the nation in all polls at consensus number 1, and a fantastic ball club coming in here to Starkville. Leading off and starting things for Tennessee in center field going to be the junior Sophia Knight. Talked about her earlier in the pregame show, a .519 average on the season, starting in her 26th ball game this year. She started in every game for the Volunteers so far. Batting second at second base going to be the sophomore Ella Dodge, .359 average on the season. She started in every game so far for Tennessee. In right field and batting third going to be the junior Gabby Leach. And the cleanup spot, designated player for this evening, going to be the sophomore Mackenzie Budd, a .386 average on the season. Has been a really good hitter. So has Leach, a dominant top 4 in the order for the Lady Volunteers. Behind the plate and batting fifth going to be the catcher Elsa Morrison, freshman, .306 average on the season, starting in her 24th ball game of the year. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Taylon Holly. Freshman is Holly, a .304 batting average. Batting seventh, over at first base, Emma Clark, sophomore, .286 average on the season in 18 hits so far on the year and a solid on-base percentage of .387. Batting eighth and playing over at the hot corner at third base, Maddie Rutan has also pitched this year as well for Tennessee, but has been a great hitter as well for them. A junior is Rutan, a .269 average on the season. And she will be at the hot corner for Tennessee this evening. And ending out the lineup for the Volunteers at shortstop going to be the junior Bella Fall. Fall, a .227 hitter on the season, 10 hits so far, and an on-base percentage of .327. And your starting pitcher for the Lady Volunteers, the righty Sage Margetko, going to get the start tonight. Junior, an .083 ERA, 5-0 record, 10 appearances so far on the season. This will be her 11th and her 8th game started on the year. 4 complete games, 42 innings pitched, 19 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 15 walks on the year, 62 strikeouts, and a .132 batting average allowed against opponents this season. We'll get in more into her when we get to the bottom of the first and we talk about Mississippi State's offense and Tennessee's defense. The lineup for the 26-2 Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Batting first and playing shortstop going to be Morgan Stiles, a .376 hitter on the year. The sophomore batting first has been doing it all season. Batting second, playing right field, going to be Kiara Sells. Has been hot lately, and what State will need her to get hot here in this series and all throughout SEC play. Batting third, playing third base, going to be the senior Nadia Barbary. Has been with Mississippi State for quite some time and looking to cap off her senior year the right way, a .345 hitter with 10 long balls on the year, rather 8 long balls on the year. Batting cleanup, the left fielder going to be Morgan Bernardini, senior, .313 average on the season. Has gotten hot after a slow start to the year and has been playing well ever since and hitting well at the plate ever since. Behind the plate, batting fifth, the catcher Des Rivera, senior transfer, and looking to make an impact for Mississippi State in SEC play. Batting sixth going to be the designated player Anna Carter. So she will go designated player tonight. She has played catcher as well this season, but they put Rivera behind the plate, and Carter will be the designated player in the sixth spot, a transfer from Southern Illinois, a .273 average on the season. Also has been able to walk 14 times this year, so has been able to get on base outside of hitting a .433 on-base percentage. Batting seventh, the second baseman, going to be the freshman, Gabby Schaefer. She'll get her first start in SEC play. The freshman, out of Monroe, New York, a .343 batting average on the year. Homered in Game 2 against Southeast Missouri earlier this week on Tuesday. Batting eighth, the center fielder in tonight's ball game, going to be the junior transfer from Utah State, Tatum Silva, .391 batting average, and her 8th start on the season. She is drawing tonight. And rounding out the order, going to be the home state kid, batting last, and at first base, going to be the senior, Abby Grace Richardson from Brookhaven, Mississippi, Brookhaven Academy and Co-Lin Community College down in Weston, Mississippi. and a 250 average for her on the year, and a lot of extra base hits for her this season as well. Out of her 15 hits, 11 of them have gone for extra bases, 6 doubles and 5 home runs. And your starting pitcher tonight for Mississippi State is going to be the junior lefty, Alyssa Faircloth. Alyssa Faircloth coming in, a Troy transfer last year. She's coming from last year, spent 2 years with the Trojans, a lefty junior out of Northport, Alabama. Faircloth, the fastest pitcher ever in Mississippi State program history to reach 100 strikeouts, and she is going to draw the start tonight. Looking at Faircloth's season so far, 16 appearances. This will be her 17th and her 10th game started. A 1.84 ERA, 7-1 record on the season, 4 complete games, 61 innings thrown for her this year, 33 hits, giving up 16 runs, all of them earned. 13 walks, 112 strikeouts, which leads the nation, and opponents batting 157 against her. She's 4th and 1st in the nation in shutouts with 4 of those. Has got a lot of, or rather, I'm looking at Peja Gould. She's 2nd and 1st in the nation with 4 saves this year. Not going to be able to get that today, but has been able to come on late for state as well. Her WHIP is 8th in the SEC at 0.78. Has had 4 double-digit strikeout ball games this year. 10 games this season with 5+ strikeouts. Her Ks per 7 innings at 12.9. That's 2nd in the nation, 1st in the conference. Has been fantastic this season for Mississippi State. Again, a transfer out of Troy, where she was a second-team All-Sun Belt member last season. So looking to roll in this one as we are just about set for first pitch here in Starkville, Mississippi. Mississippi State and Tennessee. Bulldogs in all maroon today with white piping and Script State across the front. And Tennessee in their white jerseys, all white with kind of orange sleeves and orange piping as well, with orange Script Tennessee across the front. So we're just about set for first pitch here in Starkville, Mississippi. It'll be Sophia Knight leading off for the Volunteers. First pitch from Faircloth, in for a called strike. First pitch at 6:02 p.m. in Starkville, Mississippi. We're ready to play here. SEC opening weekend at Mississippi State University. Sophia Knight, a .519 average on the season. She eyes that one. It just misses low. Our umpires tonight, behind the plate, David Irwin. At first base, Emerus Addison. And manning third and second is going to be J.C. Bartley. A 1-1 count to the junior center fielder in Knight. Shows bunt, pulls back as that one misses outside, so the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Knight, a transfer from Boise State. In her 2 years there, was Mountain West Conference first-teamer 2 times, a freshman All-American as well. Freshman of the year, too, for Boise State in the Mountain West Conference in her first season. She swings and misses, and now the count evens at 2-2. Faircloth looking to fan her first in this one. Again, 112 strikeouts. That's 4th in the nation and 1st in the SEC. 2-2 fouled back to the screen, and Knight will stay alive. Again, I'm Ty Goldman with the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Good to have you here in our first stream with Learfield. Proud to stream Mississippi State softball here at News Park. A 2-2 count on the leadoff batter for Tennessee. Faircloth's pitch in, swung on and fouled away over to the Tennessee bench, and so we'll do the 2-2 once more. Looking back at Knight's weekend against LSU, went 4 for 11 against the Tigers, walked once as well, had an RBI on the weekend too. Here's a 2-2 to her. Swung on, fouled back, and off the net above the state bench, and so we'll do the 2-2 once more. 3 straight foul balls from Knight. Knight's making the Bulldogs lefty work. On deck for Tennessee, it's Ella Dodge. She's awaiting what her teammate can do here. Here's a 2-2 once more. Swung on, fouled again to the backstop, and so this at-bat continues. And we're just about to await the 9th pitch of the at-bat so far. Knight has been tough to strike out this year, too. Only 3 Ks on the season and 81 at-bats. This one swung on, fouled, and off the glove of Rivera. And so guess what? We'll do it one more time. But 3 strikeouts in only 81 at-bats, or in 81 at-bats so far. I meant to say only 3 strikeouts in 81 at-bats so far. So it's been incredibly tough to strike out. She's been able to get on base, too, past hitting 12 walks this season, a .579 OBP. Here's the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And a great way to start for Mississippi State's Alyssa Faircloth. She fans the first she sees, and the Bulldogs have 1 out here in the top half of the first inning. Made Faircloth work there. 10 pitches thrown at that at-bat. Rather, in that at-bat. But able to get past her. And so now we'll move to the 2 spot in Ella Dodge. Sophomore is Dodge out of Bradenton, Florida. Redshirted her first year in 2024. Played a lot last year for Tennessee. .359 average on this season. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike. First pitch missed the zone. So 1-1 our count. 1 out in the top half of the first inning between number 1 Tennessee and your number 12 Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. And so Faircloth looking for her second strikeout of the inning. She's done it all season. Came in game 2 against Southeast Missouri on Tuesday. Faced 6 batters and struck out 5. So she fanned those girls easily. We'll see if she can do it here. And she does. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts to start the ball game for Alyssa Faircloth, and the cowbells are ringing here at Moose Park. So Dodge heads back to the dugout rather, and the lefty Gabby Leach will step in. Leach, a junior out of the Woodlands, Texas. First pitch to her in there, called strike 1. Leach also has a sister on this team, Alana Leach, number 10. Not in the starting lineup tonight. Could see her come on and maybe pinch run. A .420 average for Gabby Leach this season, and the 0-1 misses outside. A 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Saturday's first pitch, or tomorrow's first pitch, will be at 2 p.m. Central Time, and then you got 12 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. So, week full of action here in Starkville. Also got tennis who played today. Women's tennis. I'll get that score for you in just a moment if I can. 2-1 the count on Leach. Swing and a half swing there. Drew the sword on her. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Deuces on the board, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top half of the first inning. Faircloth trying to fan the side here. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And we'll head to the bottom half of the first inning. Mississippi State will go to work. 1, 2, 3 due up. Faircloth fans the top 3 in the order for Tennessee. 1, 2, 3 they go. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for the Lady Volunteers in the top half of the first inning. And that'll send us to a break here on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. 0-0 our score after the top of the first. Bulldogs will have 1, 2, and 3 due up when we come back. Morgan Stiles, Kiara Sells, and Nadia Barbary. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network and Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network here on Learfield. Mississippi State and Tennessee heading to the bottom half of the first inning. State with 1, 2, and 3 due up here in this bottom of the first. And Sage Margetco going to be the starter in this one, and will get the ball rolling for Tennessee. A junior righty out of Lamont, Illinois, and Lamont High School. Played her freshman year at South Carolina. Had a team-leading 119 strikeouts that season. Then transferred to Tennessee last year, a 2.50 ERA in 27 appearances. Also had 118 strikeouts. This year has been really good. An 0.83 ERA, 10 appearances so far on the season, 7 games started, 42 innings pitched, 19 hits, given up 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 15 walks, 62 strikeouts. Opponents with only a 132 batting average against her. She has been great for Tennessee, was great in the opener against LSU last weekend. First pitch to Morgan Stiles is going to miss high for ball 1. It's 1-0 the count on the leadoff hitter in Morgan Stiles, and this one will miss outside. Stiles, a .376 hitter on the season. Sophomore out of Athens, Alabama. Been really, really good in the leadoff spot so far this year. 2-0, going to catch the outer half, and 2 balls and 1 strike to count. She has reached this season to open the MSU half of the first inning 19 out of 28 games. So has been able to get on base to start, but quickly now in a hole, a 2 ball and 2 strike count as that one hits the zone. Faircloth struck out the side in the top half of the first. So State looks to get the scoring started here in the bottom of the first. Stiles grounds over to shortstop. Up with it is Fall, and throw over to first in time for out number 1. So at the plate now going to be Kiara Sells. Sells has been solid this season. In her senior year, a .449 average. Started every game so far this year for State. First pitch from Margetco misses the zone out for ball 1. Sells has reached this season in all but 3 ball games. 1-0, misses for ball 2. So 2-0 the count, 1 out in the inning after Stiles grounded out to start things off here for MSU. But is reaching all 3 games as Sells coming off a 7-for-15 weekend last weekend in Mobile. State swept the Jaguar Classic, swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Sells. Struggled to find a hit in the midweek this week against Southeast Missouri. He was able to reach a couple times from a walk, so looking to find a hit for the first time this week. She sends one high into the air in left field. Ranging back is Holly and making the grab at the warning track for out number 2. So just got under that one a little bit too much. Not enough of a ride to get out of here. And now 2 down in the inning. Balls are being put in play for Mississippi State so far. Just haven't been able to find an open spot. Nadia Barbary now will step in for Mississippi State. Had a really, really good weekend, or rather week, against Southeast Missouri earlier in the midweek this week. First pitch to her catches the zone for strike 1. Barbary went 2 for 3 in the first game with a home run. And then 3 for 4 in game 2. She sends one over to the right side in foul territory, and it will get out into the stands. A packed crowd here at News Park. Good bit of Tennessee fans here, but definitely outnumbered by MSU fans. 0-2 count quickly on Barbary. Margetco trying to get through the top half of the state order. This one off the dirt and off the catcher behind the plate in Morrison. That's a 1-2 now the count. But Barbary a 345 average on the season. Here's the 1-2 to her. All speed, got her looking. Nice pitch from Marjetko. And the Bulldogs go down 1-2-3 to end the first inning. We'll move to the second inning as we are still scoreless here in Starkville. And you might be hearing that for quite some time. And this one, State and Tennessee, one of the best two pitching staffs in the nation. We've seen it through the first half innings for both Mississippi State and Tennessee. State goes 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll move to the second inning. We'll be back in just a moment after a break. Scoreless here in Starkville, 0-0, our score between number 12 Mississippi State and number 1 Tennessee. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Top half of the second inning here at News Park, Mississippi State and Tennessee. Bulldogs number 12 in the country and Lady Volunteers number 1. We're tied at 0 as we head to the top half of the second inning. And Mississippi State with Alyssa Faircloth back out in the circle. Bulldogs it had Faircloth strike out the side in the top half of the first inning, and so she moves to face the 4, 5, and 6 inners for Tennessee. First up going to be Mackenzie Butt, and the first pitch to her going to miss low for ball 1. On the season, Butt a .386 batter, 17 hits and 44 tries so far. First pitch missed to her. Now this one catches his zone, evens the count up at 1-1. She's a transfer from Boise State as well, just like Sophia Knight. Was a freshman All-American in both D1 Softball and Softball America. Was a freshman of the year in the Mountain West Conference last season. This one catches his own and 1-2 now the count. So she comes to Tennessee, having a historic year last year for Boise State. We can get into that later. But facing a 1-2 count from Faircloth. This one just misses low, and count will go to 2-2. Had a .363 batting average last year, 22 home runs, 77 RBIs. See what she can do with a 2-2 count. This one in the dirt and skips away from Rivera. No harm, no foul, as no runners on base here in the top of the second inning. Base is empty, nobody out. A full count on the Lady Volunteers designated player. Here's a 3-2. Misses low, and a walk surrendered by Faircloth. Only the 14th on the year for her, so a rarity. And she's had such a great strikeout to walk ratio too this season, 8.62, 4th in the SEC, top 10 in the nation. So a rare walk there, and Elsa Morrison will step in for Tennessee. Freshman catcher. That first pitch to her going to miss, or rather catch the zone outside for strike 1. But over there at first base has not stolen a bag this year, but has scored 11 runs so far for Tennessee. 0-1 catches the zone as well, right down the middle, and 0-2 now the count. No balls and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Elsa Morrison goes down 3 strikes in a row. And 1 down in the inning. 4th strikeout of the ball game. And Mississippi State with 1 out in the inning, and Taylon Holly will step in. First pitch to Holly going to miss, and the count now 1-0. Holly, a .304 hitter on the season. 1-0, catches his own, and 1-1 the count. And this season, Holly in her first year with Tennessee, from out of Murrieta, California, number 7 player in the nation coming out of high school. Number 2 in the state of California, and the number 2 overall outfielder. 1-2 the count on Holly as the 1-1 caught the zone, and here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for Alyssa Faircloth. 5 on the evening here, and the Bulldogs, after the leadoff walk of Butt, now 2 straight strikeouts for Faircloth, and Emma Clark will stand in. Part of that bottom of the order that's averages coming into the game sat at under 200. Slow roll to third. Barbary up with it. Throw over in time to Richardson for out number 3. So a leadoff walk doesn't harm Mississippi State. Bulldogs leave a runner stranded. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base rather for Tennessee. Score still 0-0 as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Bulldogs will have 4, 5, and 6 due up. Bernardini, Rivera, and Carter. 0-0 our score here in Starkville at News Park. Mississippi State and Tennessee doing battle here in Starkville. We'll be back in just a moment on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before, you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Bottom half of the second inning here in Starkville, Mississippi at News Park. Bulldogs tied at 0 with Tennessee. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Bulldogs here in the bottom half of the second inning. Morgan Bernardini will lead off for Mississippi State. State went 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first. This one sent just foul out to the left side. She gave it a good ride, but just couldn't stay fair, and a good first swing there for Bernardini. Just got to wait back a little bit more, and got to turn on it. We'll give it a little bit more time. Here's the 0-1 to Bernardini. All-speed pitch, catches his own, and now count now no balls and 2 strikes. Bernardini, a .313 average on the season, the senior out of Elkville, Illinois. She sends one into center field, back to Knight, pretty much straight away center, and that one caught out there. State been able to avoid the strikeout for the most part. 3 putouts in the field, only 1 strikeout so far for Mississippi State's offense. They haven't been able to get a hit. And Rivera up now for State with 1 out in the inning, looking for State's first. This one misses inside to Rivera. Transfer from Iowa, started her career at Oregon State. One-0 to her, going to be grounded down the third baseline and foul over there by third base coach Tyler Bratton. So 1-1 count on Rivera, who also had a good midweek as well. Drove in a good couple of runs for Mississippi State. Had 3 RBIs between the 2 contests on Tuesday. She sends one out into left field. Back is Holly at the warning track and makes the grab for out number 2. So 2 outs in the inning for Mississippi State, both on a fly out. 1 to center field from Bernardini and 1 to left field from Rivera. So now Anna Carter will stand in. Transfer from Southern Illinois, a 3-year career there with the Salukis, and now here is a Bulldog. First pitch to her, just misses in the inside half to the lefty Carter for ball 1. So Margetko has made good work of State so far. 1 strikeout through 5 batters faced and only 19 pitches so far here through 1 2/3 innings. Here's a 1-0. Pitch to Carter misses low for ball 2. Carter been prone to drawing walks this season as well, 14 of them this year. Solid on base percentage of .433. 2-0 catches the zone, and now 2-1 to count. 2 outs in the inning. State has flown out twice. Scoreless here in the bottom of the second inning between number 1 Tennessee and your number 12 Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Here's a 2-1. In the zone as well. 2-2 now the count. Deuce is on the board with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that'll end the second inning in State's offensive frame. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Mississippi State as we move the top half of the third inning. Scoreless here at News Park. MSU and Tennessee doing battle here in Starkville, Mississippi. 8-9-1 due up for Tennessee up next, and Alyssa Faircloth is who they'll have to face in the circle. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network and Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you. Top half of the third inning here in Starkville, Mississippi State. And Tennessee tied at 0. 8-9-1 due up for Tennessee here. That would be Rutan, Fall, and Knight. Alyssa Faircloth still in the circle for State. And Faircloth has done a fantastic job so far. 5 strikeouts for her through 7 batters faced. So Maddie Rutan will stand in. Junior infielder / pitcher. She can pitch too. A swing and a miss from her for strike one out of Columbus, Indiana. Started her career at Eastern Kentucky University. Was the Atlantic Sun Pitcher of the Year, Freshman of the Year that first season, and has since transferred to Tennessee. This one will miss low, and so now 1-1 the count on Rutan. But nothing our score through 2 so far. And again, going to get used to seeing that. I mean, these two teams, as I mentioned in the pregame show, just solid offenses, or rather solid pitching staffs, but solid offenses too. But what I meant to say there was solid pitching staffs, and more than solid, really 2 top 5 pitching staffs in the nation. Rutan sends a flare over to Morgan Stiles as she ranges to her left and makes the play for out number 1. So still no hit in the ball game for either team so far. We've gotten now to the bottom of the order for Tennessee, and due up it'll be the shortstop for the Lady Vols, Bella Fall. Fall, junior infielder, or shortstop rather, out of Sugar Hill, Georgia, in her 3rd year at Tennessee. A .220 batting average last year, a little bit better than that this year, 7 points better at .227 coming into the ballgame. First pitch to her catches a zone for strike 1. Had a good weekend against Tennessee and limited ABs, or rather against LSU and limited ABs against the Tigers. Went 3 for 6 in that 3-game series and had an RBI as well. Had a double. A 1-1 count to her here from Faircloth. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Faircloth looking for her 6th strikeout of the ball game. Due up is Sophia Knight. She's in the on-deck circle, but we'll see what Faircloth can do with Fall. This one grounded over to the left side. Stiles going to call off Barbary. Throw over to first in time for out number 2. So back-to-back nice plays there from Stiles. One catching a flare over towards second base, and a play over towards third base into the 6 hole. And Stiles able to range over and make the throw to Abby Grace Richardson in time for out number 2. Sophia Knight now will stand in. Cade in the first inning, where Faircloth struck out the side after what was, I believe, an 11-pitch at bat. First pitch to her just misses for ball 1. Fans didn't like that call. A solid crowd here at News Park. Beautiful night in Starkville. She sends one in the center field, a flare, but ranging in is Silva, and she makes the grab for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Tennessee. Bulldogs and Volunteers both scoreless through 3.5 innings so far. It's been a dominant pitching performance for both teams. And Mississippi State will have 7, 8, 9 due up when we come back. It's the freshman Gabby Schaefer, the junior transfer Tatum Silva, and the senior Abby Grace Richardson. Still in the circle for Tennessee going to be Sage Margetko. We'll be back in just a moment for the bottom half of the 3rd inning here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fans section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network as we head to the bottom half of the third inning here in Starkville. Mississippi State and Tennessee squaring off here in the SEC opening weekend for the Lady Bulldogs. And we're scoreless here through 3.5 innings so far. It's been dominant pitching from Mississippi State's Alyssa Faircloth and Tennessee's Sage Margetko. And we'll see if the Bulldogs can grab their first hit of the ball game and hopefully do it here and maybe get a lead out for Faircloth, who's been pitching well so far. First batter in the inning for State is Gabby Schaefer, and she fouls this one back to the on-deck hitter for State and Tatum Silva for strike one. Schaefer had a home run in Game 2 on Tuesday against Southeast Missouri. This one off speed and misses high from Margetko. Evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. But had a home run over the scoreboard in left field on Tuesday did Gabby Schaefer. She swings and misses for strike 2. Schaefer, freshman out of Monroe, New York, playing second base today for State. Only the second player in program history from the state of New York for Mississippi State. This one misses outside, evens the count up at 2-2. Schaefer trying to battle here with 2 strikes against Sage Margetko. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Off speed, just missed the zone. A full count pitch coming up here. The State looking to get their first base runner on board here. Here's a 3-2. Fouled over towards the third baseline and just foul past the sprinting Rutan. So the count will stay full on Schaefer. Schaefer, a .343 hitter on the season, starting in her 18th ball game, and so far 12 hits on the year, 7 RBIs. 3-2 fouled back. Schaefer just got a piece of that one. And so we'll get set to do the 3-2 again. Good battle to start the bottom of the third here, and State trying to get their first base runner on. Schaefer, a slow roller over to third. Rutan up with it. Throw over to first base at Clark and in time for out number 1. So State still without a base runner yet through 2 1/3 innings. And Tatum Silva will stand in. Through 3 1/3 innings. And Tatum Silva will stand in for Mississippi State. .391 hitter on the year. And the first pitch she sees, she flies into shallow left center field, and Knight will range all the way over from her position in center field for out number 2. Make the grab on the blooper out in the left field. And so now Abby Grace Richardson will stand in for Mississippi State. Richardson, senior out of Brookhaven, Mississippi. She shows bunt on the first pitch she sees and fouls it back, and Morrison almost got her offhand, or non-glove hand on that one. Couldn't do it, and so now 1 strike on Abby Grace Richardson. Mainly pinch ran last year for State. It's been solid in the field for Bulldogs so far this year. .250 batting average, but has been able to get on base outside of that. A .347 on base percentage. A 1 pitch catches the inner half, and now the count, no balls and 2 strikes on the Bulldogs' 9-hole hitter. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And so we've gone through 3 scoreless frames so far here in Starkville, and neither team without a hit. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And for State, easy decision for them to choose on who to send back out to the circle. It'll be Alyssa Faircloth, who's pitched well so far through this one, and she'll come out and try and continue it against Tennessee's 2, 3, and 4 hitters in Dodge, Leach, and Butt. We'll be back in just a moment for the top half of the 4th inning, where Mississippi State and Tennessee are tied at 0. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work?
With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here in the top half of the fourth inning. Scoreless through 3 frames so far. It's been a pitcher's duel so far. Faircloth through 3 innings so far for Mississippi State. 5 strikeouts, only 1 batter walk. There's only been 1 base runner in the ball game, and that belongs to Tennessee. The Bulldogs have been really, really good so far, and Mississippi State looking to continue to see some more quality innings from Faircloth. And then for Tennessee, you look at the visiting pitcher in Sage Margetko. 3 innings pitched so far, 3 strikeouts and 9 batters faced, and a base runner is yet to reach so far in the ball game for Mississippi State. The pitcher's duel here. Figured it'd be like this all weekend with 2 of the top 5 pitching staffs in the nation. Crowd trying to get into it here. Ali Supan on the bench for Mississippi State with a sign up telling everybody to dance. Sun setting here in Starkville, 6:41 p.m. Central Time in Starkville, Mississippi. Sun sets now around between 7 and 7:30 here in the Golden Triangle this time of year. Wind, a slight breeze out the center field. And leading off from the Lady Vols is going to be Ella Dodge. Dodge struck out in the first inning. Part of that top half of the order and that trio that struck out all 3 times they got up to bat in the top half of the first. (0-1) now the count after a first pitch strike to Dodge. Man, and that one just missed. Definitely close. Home plate umpire David Irwin thought it just missed, and so that'll even the count up at 1-1. Ella Dodge had a good year last year for Tennessee. She sends this one into right field for the first hit of the ball game for either team. Dodge rounding first, but quickly back to the bag over there on the right side of the field. And so throw comes in for the outfield for Mississippi State. And Tennessee with a base runner here to start the top half of the fourth inning. Here come the Big Orange faithful who made the trip down here to Starkville. And Gabby Leach will stand in now for Tennessee. Dodge over there at first base, 8 stolen bags on the year. This one, line drive back to the pitcher, Faircloth, and then a throwback to first in time for a double play. It looked like at the plate, Leach wanted to slap it and just barely got a piece of it. It went right back to Faircloth. She threw over to first, and it was in time for a double play. As of now, the call on the field is a double play. Tennessee and Karen Weekly wanting to challenge this, and so is Ella Dodge over there at first base. She immediately put her hands to her ears and said, hey, we got to challenge this thing. So the Lady Vols are going to burn their first challenge. And we'll see if it stands, but obviously still 1 out on the play for Mississippi State. But we're going to check and go look and see if this was a double play. Play under review. All reviews in SEC play come through Birmingham. Looking at it on the video board, looks really close. Ball looks in the glove. I think it's there in time. I think that might be a double play, at least from what I'm seeing on the video board. And again, it's so important. The call on the field was a double play. And great awareness there from Faircloth, too, to turn and fire to first base. And it was in time. As of now, it looks really close. I mean, the hand from Dodge is, just getting in as the ball's hitting the glove. I think the ball's in the glove before the hand's there. That's great for Ella Dodge, too, that she's wearing those white gloves with the orange for Tennessee. Maybe camouflage that a little bit, but maybe you want a little bit more clarity here with a challenge. We'll see what the call is and see if State's got 2 outs and the base is empty. Here's the call from our home plate umpire, David Irwin. And a ruling on the field is confirmed. Double play for Alyssa Faircloth and Mississippi State. So that'll go down as a 1-3 double play. After a line out from Leach, throw over in time. And Mississippi State with 2 outs in the inning, and Mackenzie Butt will step in for the Lady Volunteers of Tennessee. She walked to start the second inning, and the first pitch misses for ball 1. But walked to start the second inning. That was the furthest she ever got. Didn't get past first base. State was able to breeze through that with Faircloth. This one turned on, sent down the third base line, but foul. And that'll even the count up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mackenzie Butt, a sophomore, as I mentioned earlier, transfer from Boise State. Those 22 home runs and 77 RBIs last year for her made her the 7th freshman in NCAA history with 20 home runs and at least 75 RBIs. This is a historic year for her. And this one misses low to Butt for ball 2. 2-1 the count. And the crowd doesn't like it, but I think you can start to notice a trend from home plate umpire Irwin. Those pitches have missed low, and so the lower half of the zone, really near that lower half, has not been a favorable call if it's close. Now this one will catch the zone with ease, and 2-2 now the count. And Butt walked back to the dugout and thinking that was strike 3. Instead, she'll make her way back to the right-handed batter's box. A 2-2 count, 2 outs, and time called. And Butt took a long time, and Coach Tyler Bratton talking about that too. And Butt took a long time to get back into the box. And she didn't get back into the box until about 7 seconds on the pitcher's clock. And Coach Bratton upset about that. I think he's got the right to be. We'll go with a 2-2 here. This one's sent into left center field. Don't think it's going to have enough, and it will not. Silva with the play made in front of the wall for out number 3. I tell you what, Coach Bratton would have been hot about that if that one would have got out of here. But it did not, and that'll send us to the bottom half of the 4th inning, where State looking for their first hit of the ball game. A good way to start the inning, as they've got 1, 2, and 3 due up in Stiles, Kiara Sells, and Nadia Barbary. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base for Tennessee. Bulldogs able to pull off a double play and then a recorded out on a fly out to end the top half of the 4th inning. Scoreless through the first couple of innings here. As we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning, Sage Margetko going to head back out in the circle for Tennessee. We'll be back in just a moment for the bottom half of the 4th. Again, 1, 2, and 3 due up for State at Stiles, Sells, and Barbary. The Bulldogs look to get their first hit and maybe their first run of the ball game to take a lead. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before, you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning here at News Park. Mississippi State and Tennessee tied at 0, scoreless through the first 4.5 innings here, and Mississippi State looking to get their first hit. None better to do it than the top of the order for the Bulldogs in Morgan Stiles, Kiara Sells, and Nadia Barbary. Through the first 9 hitters, State is obviously 0 for 9, has struck out 3 times, so putting the ball in play, just hadn't been able to find an opening on the field and miss a glove. Been able to put the ball in play, given it a couple of ride out to the outfield, but just not been able to get that first hit. Leading off for State going to be the shortstop in Morgan Stiles. Grounded out in the first inning to Ella Dodge over there at second base. First pitch to Stiles going to miss for ball 1. Now, Margetko has been fantastic through 3 so far. 3 strikeouts, no hits given up, obviously, and 9 batters faced. Hadn't walked a batter yet for State this season. Or rather, in this ball game, excuse me. 1-0 catches the outer half and evens the count up 1 ball and 1 strike. But leading off innings this year, now she's 0 for 1 today is Stiles, but on the season, a .605 hitter is Morgan Stiles when leading off. She sends a slow roller back to Margetko, and she's able to field and throw to first for out number 1. So she makes quick work of the Bulldogs' leadoff hitter. And Kiara Sells will step in for Mississippi State. Sells flew out to left field in her first plate appearance. The first pitch to her going to miss for ball 1. You know, look at her stats last year. Was excellent and has been better this year, but had a .351 batting average last year. Was 5th in the NCAA and hit by pitches with 18. Hadn't really been on that side of things this year. Only a couple so far for here at 2. This one misses inside now, 2-0 the count. 1 out in the inning for State, but senior coming back, a lot of experience in this order for State. She fouls this one back and off the catcher and off our home plate umpire as well. But a lot of experience coming back in this order, and she's part of it. .443 hitter on the season. Has been State's best hitter so far this year. And maybe can give State their first hit of the ball game. Here's a 2-1. Catches the outer half and evens the count up at 2-2. Margetko's been able to battle back from early heavy ball counts. He's done it multiple times so far in this game. Swing and a miss, strike 3 from Sells. So Sells goes down on on strikes, and a K for Margetko, her 4th. And that'll send up Nadia Barbary. Barbary struck out looking in the first inning. Was the first of Margetko's 4 today. The first pitch to her is grounded over to the third base coaching box and foul. So State as a team now 0 for 11. But Tennessee only 1 for 12. That one hit coming most recently in the top of the 4th, but they were doubled off after a line drive up the middle to Faircloth, and then she threw back to first for 2 outs. 1-1 count now as this one misses to Barbary. Here it comes to her. That one misses low and inside in the dirt. And the 2-1 count now on the Bulldogs' third baseman. You know, last year, second team All-SEC and SEC All-Defensive team as well. Had 11 home runs last year. Already with 8 so far through the non-conference play this year for State. She sends this one up the middle and through. In the center field, the 2-out single for State. Records the first Bulldog hit of the evening. Solid single in the center. And Mississippi State finally finds himself with a base runner. It comes with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Now Morgan Bernardini will step in for Mississippi State. Bernardini flew out in the 2nd inning to center field. That first pitch to her from Margetko in there for a called strike 1. So far this year, at least coming in, Bernardini a .313 average. Couldn't get a hit in the midweek against Southeast Missouri, but has been hot as of late as this one misses high. 1-1 the count. We've been hot as of late. A slower start to the year for her, but has been able to bump that average above 300. 1-1 count to the Bulldogs left fielder. All speed, just misses. I think it landed in the zone, but looked like it traveled all the way until it landed high and out of the zone. So the count in favor of Bernardini now 2-1. She sends this one up to the shortstop, Fall, and Fall steps on the bag at second base in time for out number 3. And so that'll end the bottom of the 4th for Mississippi State. We'll keep it here. Been taking a couple of breaks lately, but we'll keep it here as we head to the 5th inning. Breaks come out. We'll talk a little bit about what we've seen so far through 5 in that inning for State. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base in that bottom half of the 4th inning. And so both teams with 1 hit through the first 4 innings. I mean, it's just been great pitching we've seen so far. We talked about that in the pregame show. We were going to see low-scoring games, most likely to be a battle of who's got the best pitching. And so far, both teams have not given any sort of an inch to either team. Both teams have given 1 hit. Tennessee 1 for 12. Mississippi State 1 for 13. 5 strikeouts for Alyssa Faircloth, 4 for Sage Margetko. Only 1 walk in the game. It's come from Mississippi State, but it didn't harm the Bulldogs. Well, Faircloth will come back out, and she'll pitch at least to 1 batter here in the 5th inning. Bulldogs still have Peja Gould as well, and also have Layla Amon too. So still a lot of juice left in the pen for State. But due up for Tennessee here in this top of the 5th, it'll be 5, 6, and 7 in Elsa Morrison, Taylor Holly, and Emma Clark. So we'll see what they can do. Those 3 combined 0 for 3 in the ball game. Lone hit belongs to Ella Dodge in the 2 spot. Again, thank you for tuning in here. Our first broadcast on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman with the Bulldogs Student Sports Network, and proud to have you tune in to us and listen to Mississippi State softball. Leading off going to be Elsa Morrison, the freshman. She pops up the first pitch she sees over towards the camera, and it hits right on top of the camera on the Tennessee side of the field over on the first base, above the first base dugout. And my good buddy Caleb Ward will get up and make sure everything's okay there. Could have been an expensive foul ball right there. 1 strike on Morrison. Swing and a miss on the off-speed, and there's strike 2. Morrison K'd in the 2nd inning. Highly touted freshman Morrison out of Knoxville, Tennessee, the hometown kid. She fouls this one down the line, the third base side, and out of play. Keep the count at 0-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. Nobody out. Morrison was the number 11 player in the country coming out of Farragut High School in Knoxville, Tennessee. Number 2 catcher in the country and best player in the state of Tennessee. Here's the 0-2 to her. Fouled back to the screen, and she stays alive. We're nearing the 5th pitch of the at-bat here. She struggled in Knoxville last weekend. Went 2 for 11 in 3 games against LSU. At 0 for 1 so far in this series. Here's the 0-2 to her. Swung on, fouled, and out of play over towards the right side. Maybe a souvenir for a fan. Nearing nighttime here in Starkville, just hit 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Here's the 0-2 from Faircloth. Hard ground ball right over to Schaefer. Fields it on a hop and a throw to first in time. Man, that's tough to deal with right there. That one smoked right at her, hit well off the bat of the freshman Morrison. Schaefer able to handle it, throw it over to first on a hop, and there's now 1 gone in the inning. Taylon Holly will step in for Tennessee now. Freshman left fielder. That first pitch to her will miss on the inner half for ball 1. Holly struck out in the 2nd inning, coming into the series a 304 hitter, and now that average has dipped below 300 to 298 after the strikeout in the 2nd inning. She sends a soft pop-up behind the bag at second base, ranging to her right is Schaefer, and able to make the grab for out number 2. So Schaefer with 2 putouts. Here in the top of the 5th for Mississippi State. And first baseman Emma Clark will stand in for Tennessee. Grounded out in the 2nd inning. Over to Nadia Barbary. Barbary playing close on the bag over there at third base. 0-0 comes in and misses. 1 ball and no strikes to count to the sophomore Clark. Clark coming off a 4 for 11 weekend and against LSU last weekend. Swing and a miss, strike 1 to her. But 4 for 11, scored 2 runs, had a homer in that series as well, 3 RBIs. She's had a solid series for Tennessee, one of their best hitters in those 3 games against the Fighting Tigers. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. She was behind on that one. Faircloth looking for her first strikeout in quite some time. Don't believe she's had one since the 2nd inning. She has not, so looking for her first strikeout since Taylon Holly in the 2nd. The 1-2, rounded over toward Stiles, past the diving glove of her in the center field for a 2-out knock. Tennessee with some life here, their 2nd hit of the ball game. Clark with her first. And Maddie Rutan will step in. So nice hit in the center from Clark, just past the diving glove. Again, a Stiles solid hit. And the first pitch to Rutan fouled back to the net for strike 1. Rutan lined out in the 1st inning, or rather, the 3rd inning. A soft line drive to Stiles, who made a play over towards the second base bag there in the 3rd. So she bats with a runner on. All speed in there, called strike 2. Rutan this season with 2 outs, a 286 hitter with runners on, in total 385 hitter, but Faircloth has been solid in those categories with runners on, a 182 pitcher and an 092 pitcher with 2 outs. 0-2 fouled back, and we'll do the 0-2 again in just a moment. She's been a rather hard pitcher to hit off regardless anyway this season. So has the rest of the staff for State, along with for Tennessee. Here's the 0-2 to Rutan. Misses high and outside, and maybe a waste pitch outside for ball 1. So top of the 5th, 1 runner on at first base. It was Clark with a single, 2 outs in the inning. Swung on and missed. That one dropped, so Rivera going to have to throw down to first base. It's there in time, and that'll end the top half of the 5th inning. We are still scoreless through 5.5 innings here in Starkville, Mississippi State. Great pitching so far, but got to tack on some hits soon. It seems like somebody's going to have to in order to win this ball game. We'll see if the 5, 6, and 7 hitters can do it for Mississippi State when they come up in the bottom half of the fifth inning. It'll be, as of right now, Rivera, Carter, and Schaefer as we head to the 5th inning stretch here in Starkville. Sage Margetko will still be in the circle for Tennessee when we come back here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Lear Field.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning here at News Park. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here with the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Lear Field as it's tied 0-0. Mississippi State and Tennessee. Des Rivera due up for Mississippi State to start the bottom half of the 5th facing Sage Margetko. First pitch from Margetko catches the outer half. For strike one as a maroon and white chant spurs here at News Park. Margetko through 4 innings so far, only 1 hit allowed so far, which came back in the 4th inning. Rivera sends this one into center field. Ranging in is Knight, going to make the grab just to the left, or my left, and her right of the script S and the script state that's painted in center field this weekend for out number 1. And a Carter will stand in now for Mississippi State. We'll go to the left-handed batter's box. Carter 0 for 1 of the game, a strikeout. Back in the 2nd inning. That first pitch to her, going to catch the outer half for strike 1. Some scores for Mississippi State Athletics around women's tennis. Looks like they fell today 5-2 to Vanderbilt. It could be still going live right now. 1-1 now the count as that one misses to Carter. Women's tennis, though, behind to Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. And Carter sends a slow chopper to the pitcher. Margetko throw over in time for out number 2. So 2 outs quickly for Mississippi State as Rivera and Carter have been retired, and Gabby Schaefer now going to stand in for Mississippi State. Also away from here in Fayetteville, Mississippi State baseball in a top 5 matchup. Trailing in the top half of the 5th inning to the Razorbacks of Arkansas, 2-0. So been tough sledding for State's offense so far in a low-scoring game there. Schaefer will stand in 0 for 1 today. Ground out to the third baseman, Rutan, in the 3rd inning. Well, maybe you see Schaefer with another home run this week. Had one, as I mentioned earlier, in Game 2 against Southeast Missouri on Tuesday. It feels like just one run, it could be the difference in this thing with how these 2 pitchers are pitching so far. Schaefer eyes the first 2 pitches of the at-bat, and so now the count at 2-0. Good time to hit for Schaefer. She triggers the swing, but not on time. Fouls it back to the net for strike 1. Schaefer didn't play much last weekend in Mobile in the Jaguar Classic. 1 for 2. Had a pinch hit home run against Sanford, though, last Saturday. So this one misses low. Now 3-1 the count on Schaefer. So 3-1 on the Bulldogs' second baseman. 2 outs in the top half of the fifth. Here's the pitch. This one swung on, sent down in the foul territory along the right side and out of play over where the equipment is. So that'll make the count full here in the bottom of the fifth inning on Schaefer. Bulldogs with 1 hit so far in the game, Tennessee with 2. Vols have left 2 on base, State's left 1 on. It's been a pitcher's duel so far and a defensive showdown. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and missed. Schaefer offered at the high cheddar and strikes out to end the fifth inning. We'll move to the top half of the sixth inning where Mississippi State, there's no runs, no hits, and no errors for Tennessee, and nobody left on base in the bottom half of the fifth inning. And we still find ourselves scoreless as we head to the sixth inning here at News Park. Mississippi State and Tennessee still doing battle here. It'll be Alyssa Faircloth who's going to come back out and pitch for Mississippi State here in the top half of the sixth inning. We'll be back in just a moment on the BSSN. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Lear Field.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here at News Park, Starkville, Mississippi, as we head to the top of the sixth inning. We're scoreless through the first 5 frames here on the campus of Mississippi State University between number 1 Tennessee and number 12 Mississippi State. Pitching has been fantastic so far, and for State it's been Alyssa Faircloth who through 5 innings pitched so far, only 2 hits, given up 1 walk and 6 strikeouts and 17 batters' faces. Thrown just a tick under 70 pitches with 69, and back out in the circle to face Tennessee's 9-1-2 hitters. It's Bella Fall who will stand in to start things for Tennessee. First pitch to her, she tries to offer and bunt at, and it's fouled behind the plate for strike 1. So a good spot in the order, I would say, for Tennessee, with rolling over to 1 and 2 in Knight and Dodge. And this one misses the zone, but Fall checked, and they appeal to first, and it's successful for Mississippi State. So now 2 strikes in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. But Knight hitless today, but still a plus 500 average on the year. And then Dodge with one of the 2 hits for Tennessee in the game. This one sent to center field, hit hard, but Silva ranging back, had a good jump on it, makes the grab for out number 1. So 1 out in the inning for Mississippi State, and the lineup flips over. Tennessee now with Knight at the dish for the Volunteers, and she's 0 for 2 so far in the ball game, but can't really expect that to continue, and hopefully it will in Mississippi State's case. But just too good of a hitter, it seems like, to go hitless. First pitch to her missed, and now count 1 ball and no strikes. 1 out in the inning for Mississippi State. This one grounded hard back to Faircloth. Turn and throw over with a left hand in time for out number 2. Man, Faircloth has fielded her position well so far. Turned a double play earlier in the ball game and able to field the hard ground ball there. A throw over to first in time. And the Bulldogs, with 2 outs now in the top half of the 6th inning, will face Ella Dodge. Dodge with one of the 2 hits in the game, as I mentioned, for Tennessee. It was a single back in the 4th inning, but she was doubled off there in that 4th inning. First pitch to her catches the zone, now 0-1 the count. No balls and 1 strikes. This one misses just outside. Evens the count up at 1-1. Dodge, again, coming in a .359 hitter on the season. And, you know, had a solid weekend against LSU last weekend, 3 for 9. Solid so far, 1 for 2. And hits have been hard to come by in this ball game. 3 combined between the two teams. And as this one misses the zone, the crowd doesn't like that. A 2-1 now the count. On the Volunteers, second baseman. Now this one catches the zone, evens the count up 2-2. Deuce is on the board now with 2 outs in the top half of the 5th inning. Bulldogs will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in their offensive frame. See if they can get to it here. Here's a 2-2. Catches the outer half for strike 3. 7th strikeout of the ball game for Alyssa Faircloth. She's been able to fan a bunch so far in this one like she's done all season. That sends us to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Tennessee goes 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base in the top of the 6th inning. We're still scoreless as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning here in Starkville. 9, 1, and 2 due up for Mississippi State. Rather, 8, 9, and 1 due up for Mississippi State. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning here in Starkville. Scoreless through the first 6.5 innings so far, and we'll head to the State's offensive half here in the bottom of the 6th. And maybe the Bulldogs can tack on a couple of hits and maybe a run in this one. As I said earlier, it seems like a run is all it's going to take in this ball game. It's been Faircloth and Marjetko who have been fantastic through their first couple of innings so far. 5 innings pitched so far for Marjetko. Only 1 hit allowed, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. She'll face off against Tatum Silva to start the bottom of the 6th inning, and this one catches the zone for strike 1. Again, I'm Ty Goldman with the BSSN. I appreciate you tuning in, and tune in with us all weekend as well. Ball game at 2 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. Is this one sent in the right field? Going to be a tough play for Leach, and she's able to range in and make the grab for out number 1. So State retired again to start the inning. Leadoff hitters have yet to get a hit for State so far, and the Bulldogs' average moves to .059 in the game, 1 for 17. Abby Grace Richardson now will stand in for Mississippi State. But again, tune in to us all weekend. Tomorrow, ball game at 2 p.m. Central Time here in Starkville, as Richardson sends this one into left field. And Leach will make the grab out there in left. That's Alana Leach who's moved out to left for Tennessee. And she makes the grab for out number 2. And on Sunday, ball game at 12 p.m. Central Time here in Starkville. Again, all those games will be brought to you on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on our YouTube channel and also here on hellstate.com and the Hellstate app. Thank you to Learfield for getting together with us as we bring you Mississippi State softball. First pitch to Morgan Stiles to catch the zone for strike 1. Stiles 0 for 2 in the ball game. This one misses the zone, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And, look for Styles to get on at some point. It's been tough for anybody, too, in this one. She's reached base this season in all but 1 game. So in trouble and not doing so here. She pops this one up behind the bag at first, ranging over as the second baseman, Dodge, in time to make the grab for out number 3. So State goes 3 up and 3 down. A quick inning for Tennessee. Tennessee's defense and their pitcher, Marjetko. Alyssa Faircloth will head back out for the Lady Bulldogs as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. Mississippi State and Tennessee still tied at 0 here in a pitcher's duel, and we'll keep it right here and look at some scores around the Southeastern Conference so far this week in SEC softball. Let me pull it up real quickly. But again, 0-0 our scores. We head to the top of the 7th here in Starkville between number 1 Tennessee and your number 12 Mississippi State Bulldogs. Around the conference this week, Missouri hosting a tournament in Columbia. They're up 7-1 on Minnesota in the top of the 6th inning. Texas, number 3 in the country, hosting Ole Miss, and they lead the Rebels in the top of the 7th inning 3-1. Top 10 matchup in Tuscaloosa, bottom of the 5th inning between number 9 Arkansas, number 6 Alabama. Arkansas leads 1-0 over the Crimson Tide. Looking at some other scores, Oklahoma, number 4 in the country, hosting Auburn. But the Tigers with the early lead on the road. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, they lead 3-1 over the Sooners. Some scores that have gone final in the league. Final in 6 in Lexington, number 8 Florida handles Kentucky 10-2. And also final in 6, South Carolina hosting Boston College this weekend. Number 24 Gamecocks win 10-2 as well this time, but over Boston College. And then Missouri will play another one tonight at 7:30 in their tournament against South Dakota. That's some scores around the league. Opening weekend for some teams was last weekend, not for State, but they open SEC play up against the number 1 team in the country in Tennessee. So 2 up here in this top of the 7th, 3-4-5. Gabby Leach will stand in for Tennessee, and the first pitch to her on the inner half for strike 1. Leach looked back at the umpire, and David Irwin, maybe didn't like the call. But it won't change. 0-1 the count to Leach. This one swung on hard, ground ball. Schaefer backhanded play. Nice pick and a throw over in time for out number 1. It's been solid defense so far from both teams. No errors for either squad. And the maroon and white with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. And standing in going to be Mackenzie Butt. But 0 for 1 in the game. Walked in the 2nd. Flew out in the 4th. The first pitch to her going to miss outside for ball 1. Average now to 378 for her in the OBP with that walk earlier at 525. 12 walks on the season for her. 17 hits and 45 at bat so far. 1-0 catches a zone. A check swing. She didn't go around, but it was a called strike anyway. Evens the count up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Barbary at third base, really playing the line, hugging over there. State kind of playing her pull side. 1-1 foul back to the screen, or rather to the backstop, and now 1-2 the count on the designated player and Butt. Sophomore, transfer from Boise State, trying to make an impact here on her first road game in the SEC this season. This one fouled over to the Tennessee dugout. We've got a good hop off the turf and into the dugout. Count will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, a great crowd here at News Park. A couple of Big Orange faithful made the trip, but a lot of maroon and white in the building. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, fouled over towards the third base dugout. Heads up over there for Mississippi State. State will get it in, and we'll do the 1-2 once more. Now, Tennessee's had a couple of these at-bats in the ball game where they have battled, but Faircloth has generally gotten the best of them. Here's the 1-2, sent into left center field, tailing and away from Silva. Silva fielding it off the wall, throw in the second base, not in time, and a one-out double for Mackenzie Butt. And the Volunteers have their first base runner in scoring position. Head coach Karen Weekly, who coaches third base, going to talk with home plate umpire David Irwin. Think they might make a move with a pinch runner here, and Tennessee will do just that. We'll see who they bring in real quick. That'll be number 20 in Savia Morgan, sophomore out of Columbia, Tennessee. And so State going to have to pitch around a runner at second base in Morgan. But with the double in the left center field, first runner in scoring position in the ball game for either team. Elsa Morrison will stand in. First pitch to her catches his own for strike one. Morrison Cade in the second inning, grounded out in the fifth. The first real threat here for either team in the ball game. This one will miss low, and Faircloth with the count now at 1-1. Faircloth has given up now 3 hits so far in the game. Tennessee's only allowed 1 from Mississippi State. Here in the top of the 7th. This one just misses off the inner half. I thought that one was there. Apparently not for home plate umpire David Irwin, and so now the count runs in favor of Morrison, and there are 2 balls and 1 strike. Excuse me. 1 out in the inning. Runner at second base is Morgan. Grounder up the middle. Styles to her left. Throw over to first in time. The runner going to home. Throw to home in time. In time. Great throw from Abby Grace Richardson to Des Rivera at the plate, and the runner in Morgan is cut down. Head coach Weekly decided to send her. They're talking with the home plate umpire in terms of maybe challenging that, and I don't know if they will. As head coach Weekly talking with home plate umpire David Irwin, I think they might appeal or talk with, all the umpires will talk with each other. But, man, I think that one should stand. Looked like that was an out at the plate. A great play from Styles, ranging to her left behind the bag at second base to throw over. And then the throw from Abby Grace Richardson at first base, the heads-up play there to know that Morgan was rounding third and throw it and tag down the runner. Good tag from Rivera behind the plate, a strong tag. And I think that's going to be the final consensus, is that it was a double play for Mississippi State in their second turn of the ball game. If so, it'll be 6-3-2 double play. Tennessee might decide to challenge this. Let's see if they do. Umpire David Irwin near the circle. I think they're going to appeal this. Well, Tennessee's going to challenge, and, you know, I see exactly why you would. Replay going to be handled by the SEC offices in Birmingham, per usual during SEC play. I see why you would challenge this. I mean, that would be the first run of the ball game, and maybe the only run of the ball game for either team. With how well these teams are pitching, just one run, as I've said all game, would be the difference. So the play is under review. Call on the field was a out at the plate. Rivera, I'm looking at the tag, and it looks like it was, well in time. Yeah, it looks well in time. And if anything, maybe they just want to see if Rivera was blocking the plate. But it looked like the runner in Morgan, it was a pinch runner, had a clear path to the plate. And so I don't think that's going to be overturned. I think that's going to be a confirmed call on the field. And for Mississippi State, in the bottom of the 7th inning, too, you got to quickly turn if this thing is confirmed, because it's great to have that momentum going too, and that helps you nonetheless for sure, but you got to keep the momentum and also stay grounded. You're in a good spot in the order for Mississippi State to try and walk this thing off. 2, 3, and 4 for State due up in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the call. And a ruling on the field of out is confirmed. And so that will end the top half of the 7th officially. As Hail State plays here at Noose Park. Crowd is heavily into it here. And State's got a chance to walk it off as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. We are still scoreless here through 6.5, but Mississippi State just needs one run to win this thing and take the first matchup of the series over number 1 Tennessee. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Mississippi State. It's Sells, Barbary, and Bernardini when we come back. 0-0 our score. As Margetco back in the circle for Tennessee. 0-0 our score. Back in just a moment for the bottom of the 7th inning. The State's got a chance to walk it off. I'm Ty Goldman. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. Bottom half of the 7th inning here in Starkville. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you. State with a chance to walk it off here. 0-0 our score. State with 2, 3, and 4 due up. Sage Margetco still in the circle for Tennessee, and Kiara Sells steps in the batter's box to the right side. First pitch to her misses inside for ball 1. Sells in the ball game, 0 for 2, fly out in the first and a K in the fourth. The 1-0, grounded over to the left side. Rutan trouble with it and able to throw it over in time. Bobbled the ball in between her glove. Able to come up with it and throw over to first in time. State fans thought maybe that was an error to start off the inning, but good defenses and good teams don't make those. And that's the first out of the inning. Nadia Barbary will stand in for Mississippi State. First pitch to her, off speed, misses outside for ball 1. Rather, it caught the zone. Make sure here. Says a ball on the scoreboard. I thought it was a ball in terms of what it was called. We'll see here. Here's second pitch to Barbary, and it misses. A 2-0 the count. The fans were just chirping at head coach Karen Weekly for Tennessee. So 2-0 the count for sure. Thought it was a ball in the first one. Here's a 2-0 to Barbary. This one will catch the outer half. Just caught the outer half, and now 2-1 the count. Time called from Nadia Barbary, and she'll go chat with third base coach Tyler Bratton. Bratton trying to settle her down, and Clark and Morrison will go talk with her pitcher in their pitcher in Margetco. Everybody just trying to settle down here. This thing had a fever pitch, nerves at an all-time high. It's been one heck of a ball game and a pitcher's duel, in fact. 4 hits combined between the two teams. Tennessee with 3 of them and State with 1. That all doesn't matter if State can play to run here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the 2-1 to Barbary. Off-speed pitch misses. Ball 3 now. Favorable hitters count here for Barbary. Look maybe to see some speed here from Margetco, and you got to catch up to it if you're Nadia. 1 out in the inning. Bottom of the 7th inning, our score 0-0. Here's the 3-1. Barbary, slow roller, but she might be able to beat it out. Throw from the third baseman in Rutan in time for out number 2. What a throw and play from Rutan. My goodness gracious. Really was a swing and bunt there from Barbary. And Barbary up with, not going to say to appeal that or anything, thought she was out completely. And man, what a play. Having to throw that thing off balance, too, was Rutan, and now quickly 2 outs in the inning. She's made 2 great plays here in the 7th, and Morgan Bernardini stands in with 2 outs for State. This one sent in the shallow left center field. Popped up, fall, makes the grab, and that will send us to extras here. 8th inning in Starkville. We are still scoreless as we head to 8. Mississippi State and Tennessee in just an all-time classic here in Starkville. For our YouTube stream, got to get the 8th inning graphic pulled up. You expected this to be one heck of a ball game, and it has been. Didn't know how many runs would be scored, but through 7, we're still scoreless, and so we'll have to play extras. State's going to go with Alyssa Faircloth still in the circle. And Bulldogs are also going to make some defensive changes as well. We'll get those to you, or I'll get those to you in just a moment. But 8th inning here at Noose Park. It looked like Kalani Sells and Kinley Keller ran out to the outfield, so I think those are going to be the 2 defensive replacements for Mississippi State. So we'll just have to see where they stand. But scoreless through 7, and so we'll have to go to extras to decide who's going to win this thing. It's been one heck of a ball game here in Starkville, and what a way to open up SEC play. Great crowd on hand here in Starkville, and they've been treated to a really good ball game. So defensively for Mississippi State, the infield stays the same for the Bulldogs. At third base, it's Barbary, and at shortstop, it's Stiles. Schaefer at second. Abby Grace Richardson at first. Des Rivera behind the plate. Faircloth in the circle. And in the outfield is where State shifts some things around. It looks like Tatum Silva's now in left field. Kalani Sells in center. And Kinley Keller in right field. So there's the changes. Again, we'll do it one more time for you. Battery is Faircloth in the circle. Rivera behind the plate. Barbary at third, Stiles at short, Schaefer at second, Richardson at first base, Silva in left, Sells, that's Kalani Sells in center, and Kinley Keller in right field. Alana Leach will lead off her first plate appearance of the ball game today. She came in as a defensive replacement earlier in the game and will come in and go to work here. First pitch to her in there for a called strike 1. Leach on the year, a .350 hitter in her 3rd season at Tennessee. She sends a soft ground ball over to Richardson at first base. She's able to make the play to her right and then go step on the bag over to her left for out number 1. So makes quick work, or Faircloth makes quick work of Alana Leach, and Tennessee now with 1 out in the inning. And Emma Clark will step in. Clark, one of the 3 Lady Vols with a hit in this one. And the first pitch to her going to miss low for ball 1. So Clark had that hit in the 5th inning. The 2nd inning, she grounded out. So here recently has had some success with Faircloth. This one will miss high, and they'll peel down the first base, not in time. So Faircloth falls behind in the count 2-0. And in extra innings with someone who is, compared to everybody else, seen Faircloth well, a 2-0 count, definitely a dangerous spot to be in if you're the Bulldogs lefty. This one fouled back to the netting, and the count goes now to 2-1. So just behind on that one is Faircloth, or rather, is Clark, behind Faircloth's pitch. A 2-1 the count with 1 out here in the top half of the 8th inning. Off speed in there for a called strike 2. Evens the count up at 2-2. Faircloth with 7 strikeouts of the ball game so far. Clark has yet the K in this one. Has put the ball in play every time. Here's a 2-2. Swung on and just got a piece of it. Dick Clark fouls it back to the netting. And so we'll do the 2-2 in just a moment. Once more, we crowd out in the outfield wall as well. A couple students out there in center field hanging on the wall. A great crowd here on hand at News Park. 2-2 sent into shallow right. Back with it is Schaefer, and it just falls in between Keller and Schaefer, but a throwback behind Clark in time for out number 2. Clark just rounded the bag. Keller had the ball in shallow right field and was just looking at her. And Clark just got frozen right there, and a snap throw back behind her in time for out number 2. So, I'm not going to harp on it too much. Bad communication there between Schaefer and Keller, but Keller able to make the most of it and throw out Clark behind the play. So a single, but a throw out of Clark, and now 2 out in the inning for Maddie Rutan, who swings at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. Rutan 0 for 2 in a game, struck out back in the 5th inning and lined out the 3rd. Well, she's behind in the count now, 0-2 after she was behind on that pitch. Fouls it back to the screen, and an advantage here for Faircloth State. With 5, 6, and 7 due up right now, it would be Rivera, Keller, and Schaefer, and we'll see if State shakes up that part of the lineup here, but they got to get out of the inning. This one in the dirt, a couple feet in front of the plate. A waste pitch there, now 1-2 the count. State can get out of it here, and if they didn't score in the bottom of the 8th, Tennessee would have 9, 1, and 2 due up in the top of the 9th. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, just fouled back to the backstop, and Can will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Excuse me. Again, 2 more in this series to come, and excited for that with how this one's gone. Ball game tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time, and then on Sunday at 12 p.m. Central Time. Here's the 1-2. And it catches the inner half, called strike 3. Rutan can do nothing but look back at the umpire and hope it was called a ball. It was not. That's the 8th strikeout of the ball game for Alyssa Faircloth, and that'll send us to the bottom of the 8th inning. Where Mississippi State and Tennessee are still fighting and still scoreless. Bulldogs look to rally and walk off number 1 Tennessee as we head to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Rivera, Keller, and Schaefer due up now for Mississippi State, and they'll face Sage Margetko once more. 0-0 our score as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Mississippi State and Tennessee tied here in Starkville. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
To the bottom of the 8th we go here in Starkville. 0-0 still our score here through 8.5 innings. Mississippi State and Tennessee tied at 0. Bulldogs number 12 in the country. Tennessee at number 1. State looking to knock off Tennessee for their first loss of the season. Volunteers coming in at 25-0 and 3-0 in the SEC. Des Rivera will get a piece of Sage Margetko here to start the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch going to miss out of the zone for ball one to Rivera. She has not reached in this one, flown out twice. In the second to left field, and then the fifth inning, the center. Here's the 1-0. Sent into right center field. Ranging over is Knight to her left, and the speedy Knight making the play for out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out. And that'll bring in a new hitter for Mississippi State, who checked in as a defensive replacement in the last half inning for State. It'll be Kinley Keller who will stand in. Keller, freshman out of New Braunfels, Texas. 4.12 average on the season. The first pitch to her, going to catch the outer half for strike 1. But a 4.12 average for her here this year. 14 hits, 5 doubles, and a home run. This one misses outside. Evens the count up at 1-1. One out in the inning for State in the bottom of the 8th. This one misses low, maybe a hair outside, but I think the main factor of it being a ball was it was low. So 2-1 now the count. Keller only batted in game 1 on Tuesday against Southeast Missouri in the 9-0 win. She went 0 for 2 in that one. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Keller, and the count even at 2-2. Pinch hitter on deck for Mississippi State. It would be Zion Romero. Keller able to stay alive, fouling this one back to the netting. So Romero going to get a chance to swing it after Keller. Would love if Keller could get on here some way and get Romero on with a runner on base. 2-2 count to Keller. This one sent over down the third base line and foul in the left field. The count will stay at 2-2. If when Romero comes up, a 179 hitter on the season, 5 hits, did not get a hit in the midweek to Southeast Missouri. Last couple of hits came against in the Jaguar Classic last weekend where she had 2 of them. Here's a 2-2. All speed, and Keller just able to stay back and not offer at that one. 3-2 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Scoreless at 0. Here's the 3-2. Keller sends this one over to third base, and the third baseman Rutan up with it. Throw over to first in time for out number 2. Zion Romero going to stand in for Mississippi State, a pinch hitter for the Bulldogs. Coach Ricketts going to check with the home plate umpire, David Irwin, and get that handled in the scorebook. But again, Romero, a 179 hitter on the season, now playing in her 16th ball game on the year, sophomore out of Lake Elsinore, California. Played last year here for Mississippi State. 3 extra base hits on the year. Be good to have one now. Maybe get State with a runner in scoring position, or home run counts as an extra base hit, so that would help too, and that would end the ball game. Due up for Tennessee in the top of the 9th if we get there. Bella Falls, Sophia Knight, and Ella Dodge. It's 9-1-2, and time called behind the plate by Morrison for Tennessee. And so now we'll have the first pitch of the AB. This one misses high, 1-0 now the count. Romero looking to come up big here. Struggled at the plate so far this season, but it doesn't matter now. This one misses low, now 2-0 the count. Two outs in the inning, bottom of the 8th. Scoreless here in Starkville between number 1 Tennessee and number 12 Mississippi State. Romero, big hack at that one and misses for strike 1. Romero on the year is a better OBP than batting average. It's at .303. He's been able to walk 5 times this year. He's K'd up 4 times and 28 at-bats. Now this one over the outer half for strike 2. And so now Deuce is on the board. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's a 2-2. Swung on, sent into left field. Not going to be deep enough. Alana Leach coming in and making the grab for out number 3. And that's going to send us to the 9th inning. It's like we're playing baseball here at News Park. When we go to the 9th inning in Starkville, where Mississippi State and Tennessee are tied at 0. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Mississippi State here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll move to the top of the 9th. Bulldogs are going to have Alyssa Faircloth back out in the circle, and Tennessee will have 9, 1, and 2 due up here in the top of the 9th inning. That will be Fall, Knight, and Dodge. We'll be back in just a moment with more Bulldogs softball. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder. Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before, you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here at News Park in Starkville, Mississippi. Undefeated Tennessee in a battle here with your number 12 Mississippi State Bulldogs. 0-0 as we head to the top of the 9th inning here in Starkville. No runs scored so far. Only 5 hits combined through 8 innings so far in this ballgame. Alyssa Faircloth still in the circle for Mississippi State. And she'll face off against the 9-hole hitter in Bella Fall. Fall 0 for 2 in the game today, and the first pitch to Fall in there for a called strike 1. Been treated to a great game tonight. Everything you could want in a top 15 SEC series. A flare sent out to right field. It's down. Schaefer dove but could not make the grab, and she's up slow. Grabbing at the midsection there. Hope she's okay. But that one does drop in for a leadoff single for Tennessee, and the lineup's going to flip over, too, for the Volunteers. This will be Sophia Knight, who's going to have a bat once more, looking for her first hit on the night, looking to reach base for the first time. Athletic trainer for State. Talking with Schaefer. Had a hard fall over there, diving for that one, just couldn't make the grab past the outstretched glove. And I think Schaefer might see if she stays in the ball game, and she will. She'll come into the circle to talk with her teammates who have already been met in the circle for a little bit, in the infielders. And we'll resume play here in just a second. Sophia Knight going to stand in for Tennessee. 0 for 3 in the game. Has reached in every game this season for Tennessee. Marbury playing in, expecting the bunt there at third base. And this one slapped and slices foul over towards the third base side for strike 1. The Big Orange faithful coming on to support their Lady Volunteers. The State coming right back at them. A great crowd and a great game here in Starkville. Here's the 0-1. Slap to the left of Barbary, off the glove, off the bottom of the glove, and Knight in there safely at first base, and Fall able to slide into second base safely too. A tough play there for Barbary. I'm sure they'll score that, and no, they'll score that out of singles. So an infield single for Fall, and Ella Dodge will stand in for Tennessee. Big at bat in the ball game here for both squads. State, no outs in the inning. Tennessee runners at first and second in Fall and Knight. Here's the 0-0 to Dodge. She shows bunt. It misses, or she pulls back as the pitch misses for ball one. 1-0 the count. Time called by Mississippi State. And they'll talk in the circle. Just trying to discuss what they want to do here. If Dodge continues to show bunt, I would think, if Dodge, it wouldn't be anything special. Just try and show bunt, and let it be a sacrifice bunt, and move the runners over from first and second to second and third. That's what I would think, and we'll see what Tennessee does, but State's also probably discussing that too, and they break from the circle, and we'll resume play here. 1-0 count to Ella Dodge, runners at first and second for Tennessee with nobody out at the top of the ninth. We're scoreless. 1-0. She'll swing away, sends this one in the left field. Back is Silva at the warning track, makes the grab. And Fall will not try and advance. Good block up from Barbary as that throw came into the dirt from the outfield. And one gone now in the top of the ninth for Mississippi State. And standing in will be Gabby Leach, the 3-hole hitter. Leach coming into the ball game had a .420 batting average with 24 RBIs. She swings and misses for strike one. They're coming into it, like I said, .420 batting average with 24 RBIs, 32 runs scored for Tennessee so far. Looking for her 30th hit with 29, but she's 0 for 3 in the game so far tonight. Here's the 0-1 to her. Swung on, popped in the air. Should be playable for Styles, and I think that might be an infield fly rule, and it is. And batter was out anyway. 2 outs now in the inning for State as they try and escape this early inning jam. Now re-entering for who was pinch running earlier. It was Morgan that pinch ran earlier. And so Tennessee will re-enter Mackenzie Butt. So she'll come in. And Butt doubled in the 7th inning. Was pinch run for by Morgan, and Morgan was promptly thrown out, by Abby Grace Richardson after State threw out a runner at first base and doubled her off. So Butt will come in off of the heels of a double in the 7th inning. She sends one into the gap in right center field. It's back, and gone. Home run. Tennessee leads 3-0 in the top half of the 9th inning. Mackenzie Butt has been the player of the game for the Lady Vols and sends one over the right center field wall for the first runs of the ball game. So 3-0 our score. 2 outs in the inning. First pitch she saw, too. Butt just took that one over the right center field wall, got all of it. Knew at least it was going to score 1 if it didn't get out of here. It did. And it scores 3 for Tennessee, and the Lady Vols lead over Mississippi State. Elsa Morrison will stand in for Tennessee. First pitch to Morrison in there for a called strike 1. Energy at an all-time high on the right side of the field there with the Tennessee fans and the bench. 0-1 count. Swung on and missed by Morrison for strike 2. Morrison 0 for 3 in the game. And, yeah, Mackenzie Butt has just been the player of the game. And Clark has been too, but Butt has come up with huge hits for Tennessee. And the biggest one of the game just came just a second ago. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for Morrison. And that'll end the top half of the 9th inning. Tennessee, though, able to get a couple runners on base. State gets 2 outs, but Mackenzie Butt sends one out of the yard to right center field and gives the Tennessee Volunteers a 3-0 lead. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Tennessee in the top half of the 9th inning. We'll move to a break and be back in just a moment for the bottom of the 9th inning for Mississippi State. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Lady Bulldogs in just a moment. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
To the bottom of the 9th we go here in Starkville. Tennessee has the first lead for any team in the ball game after a 3-run home run from Mackenzie Butt in the right center field. And the Volunteers, looking to stay undefeated, lead 3-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Mississippi State with 8-9-1 due up, and it's going to be a new hitter for the Bulldogs. It's going to be the lefty Taylor Troutman. So Troutman will stand in, a .333 hitter on the season. Coming off a torn ACL last year. He's got a couple homers this year. And the first pitch to her from Sage Marjetko low for ball 1. So 1-0 the count on Troutman. Bulldogs trying to battle, stay alive here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Troutman sends this one into left center field. It's in the air, back at the wall, and gone. A home run, solo shot for Troutman. State breaks the scoring drought in the bottom of the 9th inning as Troutman hype. Fans are hype here, and the Bulldogs not going away without a little bit of something to say. The Troutman with a solo home run. State still got to make up for 2 more runs. 1 run won't cut it. But again, State not backing down easy. That one knocked out of here for Troutman's 3rd home run of the season. And Abby Grace Richardson will stand in for Mississippi State. First pitch from Marjetko misses low for a ball. On deck is Morgan Stiles at the top of the order for Mississippi State. There is a pitcher in the bullpen for Tennessee. I can't quite tell who it is. It got a black screen on the they're blocking the dugout, at least from the bullpen rather, at least from my view. But there is a righty warming up for Tennessee. If Marjetko were to get into any more trouble, 1-0 swung on and missed. 1-1 now the count on the Mississippian and Abby Grace Richardson. 0 for 2 today. Off-speed pitch misses outside for ball 1. Ball 2. State starts off this inning with a solo home run for Taylor Troutman. They've cut the Tennessee lead to 2. 2-1 pitch. Richardson pops it up into the air. Hopefully this thing gets out of play. I don't think it will. Fall is all over it, ranging from her shortstop position over just to the left of the foul line down the third baseline. And A foul out for Abby Grace Richardson, 1 down in the inning for State. But the lineup flips over, and Morgan Stiles will stand in for the Bulldogs. Stiles 0 for 3 in the game, has reached all year this year in all games but one. Maybe could be her last chance here. Got to get on base for MSU. This one misses outside. Ball 1 now to the sophomore shortstop and Stiles. Sophomore out of Athens, Alabama. Had a great freshman year last year. And the 1-0 right down the middle for strike 1. Count evens here in the bottom of the 9th. The 1 out in the inning. Off speed in the dirt for ball 2. 2-1 the count. And Margetco, again, has done a great job all game of getting behind in counts, but has been able to come back and, in 2-0, 2-1 situations, has been able to fight back and get outs. Here's a 2-1. Stiles, hard grounder through the legs of Rutan. And the first mistake for Tennessee's defense. An error right through the legs, and they might count that one maybe as a single. But that one goes straight through the legs of Rutan into left field, and State's got the tying run at the plate, and Kiara Sells. Energy in the building here, man. Talk about not going down without a fight. We might see Tennessee make a pitching change here. They're going to go talk in the circle. And I think we are going to see Tennessee make a pitching change. Looks like number 38, I believe. I believe that's number 38. Or would it be 33? That's going to be, I believe, 33, and that'll be the sophomore Erin Newer. Just making sure that's 33, and it is. So sophomore right-hander out of East Aurora, New York. Erin Newer will come in. I'll give you more info from her in just a moment. We're going to take a break real quick on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. 3-1 our score in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mississippi State trying to come back here in Starkville over Tennessee. Runner on base for the Bulldogs, and a tying run at the plate, Kiara Sells. I'm Ty Goldman, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. New pitcher for Tennessee here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bulldogs with the tying run at home plate, and Kiara Sells. Morgan Stiles over there at first base after a single with 1 out in the inning. State's already scored once off of a Taylor Troutman home run. And Erin Newer, the new pitcher for the Lady Volunteers of Tennessee, sophomore right-hander out of East Aurora, New York. Last year, had a great year at Tennessee. This year so far, an 0.89 ERA, her 14th appearance now, 8 games started, 11-0 record. Batter's only a 0.79 average against her. She's first in the nation in hits per 7 at only 1.77. Really tough to hit off of, and State's going to have to do it here if they want to tie this thing or win the ball game. First pitch from her, a ball low and outside from Newer to Kiara Sells. She hasn't reached in this ball game, looking to do so here. Allie Supan at first base, pinch runner for Morgan Stiles from Mississippi State. Here's the 1-0. Misses outside. Morrison with a look over to first base, won't make a move. 2-0 the count now on Sells. Nadia Barbary waits on deck. She's got one of the 2 hits in the game for State today. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 from Erin Newer. And Newer, only 13 walks this season, 52 strikeouts, has only allowed 6 runs in 47 1/3 innings pitched so far. Here's a 2-1 to Sells. Swing and a miss. Another one that's a little high in the zone, and Sells offered at it. Now the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first base, Allie Supan, pinch running for Morgan Stiles, who singled. State with a solo home run earlier in the inning. 1 out in this frame. This one misses low, now full count. Big pitch here coming from Newer. Game-winning run on deck in Barbary. Sells is the game-tying run. Here's the full count pitch. Swung on, fouled back to the netting, and that'll keep the count at 3-2. Newer last year had a really good year for Tennessee, went 6-4, 57 of the third innings pitched. Had 65 Ks. Opponents were hitting 205 against her last year, but only are hitting under 100 against her this year. Sells sends this one into left field. Let's see if it gets out of play, and it will. Gave it a decent ride. I don't think it would have been enough. Was close, but regardless, it didn't stay fair, and so we'll do the 3-2 again. A walk here would put a runner in scoring position for the first time in the ballgame for State. Outfield really playing on the warning track, really in no doubles defense here. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, a chopper over to the right side, throw down to second base in time. Supan's retired. Sells in safely at first base, and so Supan will head back to the bench. And State's down to their last out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Nadia Barbary now going to stand in for Mississippi State. Barbary with one of the 2 hits in the game this evening for MSU. Looking to keep State's comeback hopes alive here in the bottom of the 9th inning. First pitch missed, and the second pitch does too. 2-0 now the count on Barbary. Bernardini is going to re-enter. She's on deck. She represents the winning run for State. Barbary the tying run. Here's a 2-0. Sent into left center field. Given a good ride, but not enough. Alana Leach with the grab in left center field at the warning track, and that is our ball game. Mississippi State falls, and I would say one of the best ball games of the year in NCAA softball. A 9-inning finish here, and Mississippi State comes out on the losing end of it. The Bulldogs fall to Tennessee 3-1 to fall to 26-3 on the year. Tennessee moves to 26-0 on the season. These two teams will face off again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time in Starkville. We'll have that one on the Bulldog Student Sports Network as well as on Learfield on HailState.com and the Hail State app, and they'll also face off on Sunday at 12 p.m. Central Time. We'll have that on the same properties as well. The Bulldogs fall in Game 1. They got to win tomorrow to get back even with the series and hopefully force a rubber match on Sunday. Bulldogs lose to Tennessee 3-1 here in Starkville in 9 innings. We'll be back in just a moment for the postgame show here on the BSSN. You've been listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network from Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder. Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Jake Mangum here. When I'm at the plate, I'm always looking for an edge. So when I'm shopping for auto insurance, I'm always looking to save. That's why I'm going with Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance to keep me covered. They're always finding ways to save you money, like a 7% discount when you sign up for paperless billing and documents. Go to msfbins.com and discover how much you can save on auto insurance, or find a local agent and get started today. Go with the home team. Go with Farm Bureau Insurance.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network, live here from News Park on the Postgame show. Mississippi State falls in 9 to number 1 Tennessee, and the Lady Volunteers stay undefeated 26-0. State falls to 26-3. Volunteers win over Mississippi State 3-1 here in Starkville in Game 1 of 3 here on Friday night. We were treated to a pitcher's duel tonight. A really great performance from both Sage Margetko and Alyssa Faircloth. Tough for Mississippi State's Faircloth to win the ball game or lose the ball game tonight with how well she pitched. I mean, it just came down to the 3-run home run in the in the ninth inning from Mackenzie Butt. That's all it came down to. Is that 3-run shot was it in the ball game, and the determining factor. You felt like I said all game 1 run might be the difference, but turned out really 1 hit was the difference in the ball game. Hits were hard to come by in this one. Tennessee was able to tack on some every couple of innings. They had 7 in the ball game. We'll look at the final line score as well. For the visiting and winning Volunteers of Tennessee. Tennessee waits all the way until the 9th inning to score there. Only 3 runs in the ball game. They score 3 runs on 7 hits. 1 error, and the Lady Vols only leave 2 on base. For Mississippi State, Bulldogs again wait till the 9th inning like Tennessee did to score, but could only muster up 1 run on 2 hits in the game, no errors, and 2 left on base as well, just like Tennessee. Losing pitcher in the game, Alyssa Faircloth, falls to 7-2 on the season. The winning pitcher, Sage Margetko, moves to 6-0 on the year, and Erin Newer records the save. It's her 3rd save of the season. So again, you look at Mississippi State in the ball game, great pitching. Great pitching, as well as Tennessee. Both teams great pitching this entire contest. Not many walks at all for either team. In fact, only 1 walk in the entire game for either team. That came from Alyssa Faircloth earlier in the ball game, and it ended up not hurting Mississippi State. So constantly we're making your defense make plays, and they did. Only 1 error in the game came from Tennessee late in the ball game, I believe in the 9th inning, and that ball hit through the legs of the third baseman. So again, you have for Tennessee and Mississippi State both great pitching, great defense throughout the ball game. Took a while for the offenses to at least score. All the way until the final inning of the contest. But Tennessee was able to tack on some hits every now and then. For Mississippi State, you look at it, only 2 hits in the ball game. Obviously not what you want, and wasn't enough to get you the win tonight. But for looking at that, State was not striking out very much tonight, and I will, at least on a bright spot in terms of the loss and maybe only 2 hits on the night. State wasn't spending their at bats striking out. Bulldogs were putting balls in play. Tennessee's defense, just for the most part, outside that 1 error in the 9th inning, which obviously didn't come back to hurt Tennessee. Bulldogs were putting balls in play, and they just weren't falling. And just a tough break for Mississippi State tonight, who got a hold of a couple of balls out to the outfield. They just didn't get out. Wind really wasn't blowing much out to the outfield tonight, and State just couldn't get a hold of too many, and were able to get some to the warning track. Just couldn't get one out or outside of Taylor Troutman's 1 home run. She was responsible for the lone run in the ball game for Mississippi State, and with that solo home run in the bottom of the 9th inning, that led State off, and then State got a runner on, and then had a runner on again, and just couldn't muster up anything outside of that. But again, for State offensively, obviously definitely, when you look at the scorebook, looks like a slow game, and it was. I mean, but you look at it too. I would much rather, if I get beat 3-1 and only have just a couple of hits in a ball game, I'd rather it be, I'd rather us at least be putting balls in play and making the defense work. And that's what Mississippi State did tonight. Tennessee made a lot of really, really good plays tonight defensively, and that's what they've done all year. Both of these teams, 2 top 5 defenses in terms of fielding percentage in the nation. And and so you saw that tonight. Tennessee made some good plays. State did too defensively. And again, just a tough loss for Mississippi State tonight. But you gotta put it in the back of your mind and move on, because you got to play these girls again 2 more times. We got to play them tomorrow at 2 at Central Time and tomorrow at 12 Central Time. So, and if today and the night was anything of a sign of what's to come for these next 2 ball games, we're going to have one heck of a series here in Starkville against 2 very solid ball clubs. I think coming in, State has played a couple of pretty solid teams this year, but none that really obviously none that muster up to what Tennessee is. But State has fared well in some ball games this season, but and been able to beat a couple of good teams like Clemson, like Georgia Tech, and like Belmont, and a couple of good teams like that. But really wanted to see what Mississippi State had come conference time, and I think you saw a lot from them tonight. You saw a lot of resilience. State battled there in that bottom of the night, just couldn't get it done, but continued to battle, had runners on base, and they scored a run with the solo home run. So State put up a good fight tonight and continued to battle. Obviously, the result is not what you want. You want to have you want to add one to the win column and not to the loss column. So again, a tough loss for State tonight. But you saw tonight that they're what we thought they were, and if you're a State fan, they're exactly what you knew they were. A really good ball club. They were deserving of where they're ranked in the top 15, and State with a loss tonight, but continued to battle all night. Great pitching from Alyssa Faircloth, unfortunately, who gets the loss, but great pitching from her, great defense from Mississippi State, just not enough on the offensive end, and couldn't overcome the dominance of Sage Margetko. And to speak to Margetko, too, that's back-to-back weekends where she started off Friday with fantastic starts. I mean, against LSU, had a really, really good start, didn't allow a single run. I believe they run-ruled LSU, too, so, in 5 innings pitched, didn't allow a run. Not many walks, if I can recall. And then in this one, only 1 run allowed, only 2 hits allowed, and in 8 1/3 innings of work, and no walks and 5 strikeouts. So, again, just another solid outing from Margetko. You see it tonight, and you only saw you saw 2 pitchers from Tennessee, and you saw 1 from State. But you see what I was talking about coming into this thing about this fantastic pitching staff. It's really hard to hit off of them, and it was tonight. Hits were hard to come by, runs were hard to come by. Had to wait until the 9th inning to get all 4 of our runs combined in this ball game, and unfortunately, State comes out on the losing end of it. So, final remarks. You're looking at it for State. I'd say player of the ball game, at least offensively. You talk about, I would say Taylor Troutman. He's coming in having that spark. With the home run in the bottom of the 9th inning, obviously didn't go in State's favor, but to come in and give State a spark like that after that 3-run home run at the top of the 9th, very impressive. And then you look at, I thought Barbary was at least able to had the other hit for Mississippi State tonight. So, but a lot of players played well in the field tonight for Mississippi State too. Thought Morgan Stiles had a really good night in the field for Mississippi State. But for the Bulldogs, Alyssa Faircloth thought even though she gets the loss tonight, went 9 full innings, 7 hits, giving up 3 earned runs. All of those runs coming in the 9th inning alone, so was scoreless through 8. 1 walk, only 1 walk on the night, and 9 strikeouts. 116 pitches thrown, faced 32 Tennessee batters tonight. So again, just a good performance from her, a more than good performance from her. Gave you a chance to win, kept you in the ball game the entire way, and you just couldn't come up with a win. For Tennessee, Sage Margetko, a fantastic start for her. Excellent, obviously. Put Tennessee in a prime time position to win, just like Faircloth did. Tennessee was just able to take advantage of it from with Mackenzie Budd, who I thought was probably the player of the game for Tennessee. You also had Emma Clark, who had 2 hits in the ball game, but I thought Budd had some meaningful ones too. Both of them were extra base hits for her. She went 2 for 3, and the most notable one, the 3-run home run in the right center field that ended up being the game winner for Tennessee in the top half of the 9th inning. So again, with the win for Tennessee, Lady Vols stay undefeated, and they move to 26-0 and 4-0 in the Southeastern Conference. And for Mississippi State, Bulldogs fall to 26-3 and 0-1 in the Southeastern Conference. Again, we'll have broadcast for you tomorrow on our YouTube channel, the Bulldog Student Sports Network, as well as on hellstate.com and the Hellstate app with Learfield starting at 2 p.m. Central Time tomorrow here at News Park. We'll have that. Pregame will come on at 1:45 p.m. Central Time, and then on Sunday, game starts at 12 p.m. Central Time. Pregame will start at 11:45 a.m. Central Time on Sunday. So, again, Mississippi State with a loss tonight. Want to look real quick elsewhere. Just take a look at Mississippi State baseball, Bulldogs baseball in Fayetteville right now, top of the 8th inning, trailing the Razorbacks 4-2. So hopefully State can find some late ball game runs and come back and win that thing over the number 5 Arkansas Razorbacks and move to 1-0 in Southeastern Conference plays. So go tune in if you're listening right now on the hellstate.com app or on the hellstate.com and the Hellstate app. Go tune in to Mississippi State baseball. You can listen to Neil Price and listen in as Mississippi State tries to come back and defeat Arkansas. But again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Was an absolute pleasure broadcasting this one to you tonight. I mean, we treated, like I said, all night to a fantastic ball game. We saw a really good one tonight. And unfortunately, State comes out on the losing end of things, but that's just how it goes. You got to put it in the back of your head. If you're Mississippi State, you got to come back tomorrow and take a ball game and then force a rubber match on Sunday. But again, also too, thank you for to Learfield for letting us go to work with them and broadcast as well on hellstate.com and the Hellstate app, and then and letting us go here with the Bulldog Student Sports Network. A pleasure to be able to do this and be official radio broadcast of Mississippi State softball. If you're not following the Bulldog Student Sports Network, you can on YouTube at Bulldog Students, or on YouTube, subscribe to us on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Click that notification bell, and you'll get instant notifications during softball season when we go live on YouTube broadcasting Mississippi State softball games. And then follow us on X at BSSN_MSU, and then on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network. But again, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. It was a pleasure broadcasting this one to you. Just unfortunately doesn't go the way of Mississippi State, but we got 2 more games coming up this weekend here in Starkville. I'm Ty Goldman signing off here for the press box at News Park. Mississippi State falls to number 1 Tennessee 3-1 in 9 innings. A pitcher's duel that goes the way of the Big Orange. We'll be back tomorrow for Mississippi State softball pregame starting at 1:45 p.m. Central Time, with first pitch coming at 2 p.m. Central Time in Game 2 between number 12 Mississippi State and number 1 Tennessee. I'm Ty Goldman, and you have been listening tonight to Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield. Everybody, take care. Have a great rest of your night, and Hail State.
From Learfield, you've been listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Mississippi State Softball has been sponsored by C Spire, customer inspired. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Bulldogs Sports Network.